I don't think these are naturally occurring cats and dogs. I think some organization that has high-level scientific capabilities is responsible for our canine and kitty cat companions existing in their current forms within the wasteland, especially the Commonwealth. Let me explain my maybe overly paranoid thought process. I was looting the bakery and heard a soft meow. At first, I couldn't find the cat, because apparently I'm even more blind than I thought. But as I stopped in front of the cat, that was just chilling, and apparently completely unafraid of humans, I began to think. Why no overt mutations? And why no fear of people? After all, this is what most Commonwealth dogs look like. And the non-mutated looking ones seem to actively seek out human companionship. This could be for a few reasons that have nothing to do with the techno-deep ones, but I doubt it. For instance, the cats could have escaped from vaults where they were protected from the radiation outside. But for the very few of you who don't know this, cats breed fast and in litters. So, even if they at one time escape vaults, there's still plenty of radiation, especially in basically all of the water they would be drinking. As such, both direct and generational damage to their DNA would probably happen, I think. And, well, no way around this. If these cats were vault-bound for a time, their reproduction would eventually be problematic, considering they would have to breed with either siblings or close cousins to maintain a population, which in and of itself would cause noticeable genetic disorders over time, especially considering how fast cats breed. Now, why would anyone want to clone cats, and maybe even doggos? Well, that's actually fairly simple. It's the slow burn prelude to an invasion. No, I'm not joking. Think about this. Wastelanders, Mirelurks, Yaogwai, Bloodbugs, Deathclaws, Cazadors, and even super mutants can be dealt with via well-equipped trained soldiers and semi-autonomous machines, robots or early-gen synths with upgraded weaponry. But what can't be effectively dealt with through sheer military power? This has a few answers, but in this case, I believe it's hygienic threats. I'm talking rodents and insects like radroaches, large rats, and maybe even, bloatflies. Rodents and roaches have basically always carried dangerous diseases, at least one of which nearly wiped out a continent of people, partially because of poor hygiene practices. This means if you wanted to eventually take control of an area, and you happen to be from a more medically advanced group, you really wouldn't want them around, at least not in large numbers. And considering their small size and maneuverability, hoping to deal with them through Protectrons, Sentry Bots, or even Gen 2 synths is at best wishful thinking. Since radroaches are still roaches, they can fit through gaps most vertebrates and almost all robots simply could not. This is actually even true of the large rats, as a lot of rodents are burrowers, and I can't see many robots following them into small tunnels or holes in the walls. So a good way, at least in theory, to reduce their numbers would be to release a large number of predators you can control, or at least eliminate in one go if necessary. For anyone thinking, aren't radroaches a bit big for cats to hunt? No, I don't think they are. Cats can and will hunt fairly large prey, including some waterfowl and chickens, and radroaches don't really have a way to fight back. After all, radroaches are only a threat to the player in large groups, or because of gameplay reasons. So a creature that evolved as a predator would have little problem killing them, with the obvious exception of the largest variants. And let's not forget the doggos for the bigger pests. After all, dogmeat seems to have no problem attacking mole rats when you first meet him, so roaches and big rats shouldn't be a problem for the doggos. So clone them and either chip them or place some kind of genetic timer or trigger in them, and voila! An army of pest controllers that are friendly to humans, for the most part, and easy to control or outright eliminate if it becomes necessary. Which it likely wouldn't for a fairly long time. After all, you'd want to keep your pest control around until it was completely redundant. And let's be honest, even the most isolationist xenophobes probably can't look at our furry friends and not think, "Aw." It's also kinda odd that the non-mutated looking pups seem to seek out human companionship, while the mutated looking ones are more often than not aggressive towards people. But I admit, the mutations could be causing the aggression. Now, if all of this were really the case, wouldn't we read or hear something about it in the game proper? Well, Maybe, maybe not. For the same reason we don't often see the food production or livestock in vaults. Devs only have so much time to do their thing, and adding tiny, seemingly insignificant details isn't always on their minds, especially if it has little to no impact on the narrative of even small side quests. Obviously, they do add details to flesh out the world, but their time is limited, so they have to pick and choose what to add. And, well, who is to say they didn't add these details on purpose? Okay, that's all for now. Thank you for listening to my potentially deluded ramblings.